Hello there, and ahoy! It's been raining so much. This is basically a nautical edition. Welcome to another edition of Good World Small Talk. I am the Orchard. We've got the amazing Leon Bukowski, and our brand new guest this week is Colin Higgins. I'm sure we'll get a very, very fresh Alex Bradley turning up if his job allows him to have a life. I mean, come on. So we do try to make this a big, big, big world. So I'm down at the very bottom of the UK in Devon, and this time we've gone all the way up north to Lanarkshire to Colin. Colin, hello and welcome aboard.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Not too bad. So how have you found lockdown? Have you got a diary? And have you got anything written in it? Is the most baseline question I can start with.
Do you know, I haven't actually even bought a diary yet. I'm just putting everything in my phone. I haven't even really organised myself yet because I'm still quite suspicious. You know what I mean? It's all going to go tits up again, to be honest, but we'll see what happens.
I had a diary. I lost the diary. I found the diary. I lost the diary again. And at the moment, I know I've got 3 gigs in the future, and I'm 80% sure of when I've confirmed.
That'll be fun.
I mean, gigs should be like doctor's appointments where you get a little text 3 days ahead of it and saying, "Oh, yeah. You're expected to be at Brighton Fringe in 3 days' time."
Yeah. Do you remember you agreed to that gig? Oh yeah. Did I agree to that? Yeah. And comedians always tell you last minute anyway, and they always go, "Oh yeah, I better tell that guy the night before that." Just remind him. I'll just confirm.
I've got one.
I'm not super organised.
I've got one gig, and I know I'm not going to forget it because it's on September the 11th.
Oh fuck!
Everyone's favourite comedy night, but for me, it's really important because it's my brother's birthday, and I'm really focusing on that. So, how are
I've actually got a scar in my leg from September the 11th, the actual ominous September the 11th, because I was sat in a bath chiseling tiles off a wall when the planes went into the Twin Towers, and I have a massive scar on my September the 11th scar on my shin, with these horrible old-fashioned glass tiles that were concreted to the wall came flying off. I was sat in my boxer shorts, very butch, hammering tiles off the wall and sliced my fucking leg open. So I've got a 9/11 scar. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah. Well, the deep. How was it?
So
at
you're
gym?
handy, but you've got shit PPE.
Yeah, that's it.
So you've only just recently moved to Lanarkshire. Have you moved far? Do you know about the scene where you've moved to? Are you teeming with opportunities and clubs in your local area, or is it going to be an hour's drive just to do a spot?
No, it's not too bad. I was in Lanarkshire anyway, so I've moved within Lanarkshire, and yeah, so everything's still sort of. I'm still kind of equidistant to Edinburgh and Glasgow, and I run a wee comedy club in Govan, of all places, in Glasgow.
Fucking hell, that's rough. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And Park Bar in Jimmy's, which is a wee sort of basement bar in Park Bar in Glasgow and Govan. It's a crazy, it's a wonderful wee venue, and but quite a colourful clientele. So you never know what's going to happen. It's a good night. But yeah, but I mean, we just don't know. I've been in good contact with my gaffer, Donnie, who owns the place, but we just don't know. We can't set anything in motion. So I don't think my wee club will be back till autumn, winter time at the earliest anyway, you know, so.
Oh, well.
Can we have at least one story from a comedy club in Govan? For people that haven't visited Glasgow, there's hey, all you've got to do is go down to the Motor Museum, catch the free ferry, pop over to Govan. There's a beautiful little castle, Viking stones, Mori Morty gravestones. It's beautiful. And then you leave that and you're in Govan. So how would you explain Govan to somebody that's never been to Govan?
Oh, Govan is a very up-and-coming cosmopolitan part of Glasgow. I don't know how you would quite describe Govan. Govan is at my little bar that I work in is on Paisley Road West, and it's just next to Ibrox Football Stadium. So it's, and I'm not a Rangers fan, and
don't say that. We'll cut
it's
that out.
so it's usually me and a lot of sort of bitter sort of Celtic fan comedians that are on stage. Oh, and it can get quite colourful, but it's a great wee venue. I'm trying to think of any stories with the dogs in the audience. That's always a leveler. I mean, actual dogs.
As long as they've paid their money, let them in.
But the canine variety. But yeah, we've had all the best done. You know, we've got great headliners in every night, and it's it's a fantastic, it's a beautiful wee venue. It's lovely, and people enjoy coming to play the room. So we do a lot of supporting new acts, and but then in this place, which is a sort of really, it's had its day. Govan was always quite famous for being kind of rough. Well, it's sort of calmed down an awful lot. The pub has like draggy-oke and things like that, and you've got like drag queens in doing karaoke, and so it's a changing place. It really is. It's coming on leaps and bounds, and obviously that's totally down to Donny McIntyre, who runs it, and he's got a passion for supporting the arts and comedians, and he sees the value in sort of. He was ahead of the game with the whole drag thing, before it became the explosion. We're just watching Drag Race tonight before I came on here. And it's sort of the explosion, RuPaul's Drag Race program, how popular it is. He was ahead of the game long ago. So it's good. You need to come and play. We come up and do a wee gig in Dublin.
I mean, I know that, again, if you're watching from America, etc., you might not get some of the references, but Des O'Connor famously did a gig in Glasgow, and it went so badly, he didn't know how to get out of it, so he pretended to faint, which therefore he had to be carried off stage, and Morecambe and Wise then therefore named Des O'Connor the only man who can sell advertising on the soles of his shoes. It wasn't unheard of to have cages around the bar and the stages.
Absolutely. I didn't know Des O'Connor. I didn't know Morecambe and Wise played Glasgow.
Think about it. Before TV, everyone went everywhere.
Yeah,
it's the only thing you could do if you wanted to perform. You had to go billet to billet, and perform, cover the grounds, and eventually people had to do Scotland. But sometimes the Scottish audiences were a little bit more challenging to break.
They just want
if we love you, then if we love you, we love you, and if we don't, then we're not very good at feigning that we do. But there's also a great venue in Glasgow called
it's called
The Stand?
Does it have a name?
No, the Panopticon. It's I hope I've got that right. It's my head's mince. It's the oldest working theatre in the world. And it's in Glasgow. You wouldn't even know it was there. It's in a part of Glasgow called the Salt Market, and it is the very first stage that Stan Laurel took to as a professional, because his dad used to manage all the big musical halls and theatres and things like that. And he was 16 years of age. Stan Laurel went on that very stage. I've done stand-up in it. It's the most incredible venue. It's so spooky, and it's falling apart. It looks like something for the Lost Boys. Right? You look up, you're still expecting to see Kiefer Sutherland hanging to the fucking ceiling. You know what I mean? It's really bizarre, but it's phenomenal. And they do lots of open mic nights and different things. And I thought if I was ever going to record a special or do anything like that, but I'd quite like to do it in here. But I don't know if the stage would actually hold a PA. It would fall apart. It is so low.
That'd be part of the show anyway. That'd be a good part of the show. But grand finale, you just go through the floor.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
No one could follow that.
So, Leon, how has your week been? Have you achieved?
Good. Did a gig earlier on tonight. It was all right. Just online stuff. Got a real one at the end of June, but I'm yeah. So that's it. Get ready for that one. Yeah, but I haven't done that much really. Yeah, so I haven't done much. Just that one tonight. Well, no, it's online gigs are just weird, aren't they? So just practice, not real. Yeah.
Was
so
it streamed?
real one.
Were there audience? Was it just comedians?
Some audience, but then it was all muted, so it's just
Oh, haven't we learned? Come on, guys. We've been doing this for that long. We want to
Yeah.
see your messy houses. Come on. Cameras on, mics on. I'd rather you laugh and hear a dog barking.
Yeah, it had the little emoji, the little clappy emoji and smiley face emoji, and you're like, yeah, I don't know.
Fingers crossed somebody in the audience has a Steve Brown painting and I can take the piss out of them for it, you know what I mean? The colourful cows and all that. I fucking hate them.
Oh, I was going to say, who's Steve Brown? Is it?
That's the only good thing is you can just you look at people's houses and just rip the piss out of them. That's me when you're bouncing around. What the hell is that in the background?
A previous guest, John Carruthers, has said, love online gigs. Can be back on the couch by 9 p.m. As long as you don't go too loud and annoy your girlfriend, though.
Hi, John. I love John.
Right.
John's a pal of mine.
I'm going to steer this ship towards a big pickle jar of questions.
No,
Pleased with myself. I wrote some new questions today.
Ooh.
Are they funny? We'll soon find out. Right. Okay. Right. I'm paying. What restaurant would you like to go to anywhere in the world? Come on, we're allowed to sit inside now at tables with knives and forks and with proper cutlery. Anywhere in the world, where am I taking you? Transport, cost nothing.
Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, good answer.
But I can't remember the name of the restaurant. It's a pizzeria.
Right, so I'm going to get you to Australia, and then the three of us are going to walk around with Google Maps as you're going, I think it had a pillar outside the door.
Listen, you get me to Melbourne and blindfold me, and I'll take you to this place.
Yes!
It's the nicest pizza I've ever eaten in my life, and it's just with the sort of, there's a river runs through Melbourne, through the kind of city, and it's right on, it's on a nice wee kind of promenade bit right next to, there's a bridge, it's just as you come over the bridge on your left, and I was sat there, and it's the nicest bit of, but can I remember the bloody name of it? Or
that
we could go to, sorry?
Is that the Yarra?
Ooh, that sounds like it rings a bell.
Is it? So it's like a pier, and then there's like a shopping mall, is it? And then you go across the bridge and you look down on all the restaurants.
Yeah, there's a few bridges over that river, and it's the nicest pizza I've ever eaten in my life. Or for the same amount of money, we could go to Kilbreuk in Glasgow. Lights included. Bloody good restaurant, worth every penny, but it's not cheap.
Is it one of those places that will do like fancy stuff? They'll sprinkle little bits of haggis on top to show that they've actually showed a nuance.
A wee nod to the old culture. Aye. Yeah. They've got their own kitchen. They've got their own kitchen. Fancy restaurant. They've got their own garden.
Now, you know what? I love a place with a dedicated kitchen. It really makes you feel fancy.
Yeah. They've got a cooker and everything. No, they've got a garden and they grow all their own shit, and it's fucking delicious. And it's really amazing, the food. So you could go there.
Please clip this and send it to that restaurant and be like, hey, free advertising. Where's my free meal?
I like it. I like it when they have an open restaurant. You know, an open kitchen. You see them all in the kitchen, and they're all sort of cooking and stuff. Except for the bit where you see your food waiting on the top, and you see it, and you're like, "Oh, that's mine." And it's just sort of sitting there, and you're like, "Okay, that's it." It's still sitting there. And you're like, sometimes I think I'll just go and get it. I'll just stay out and get it. Save them some time.
Like, but of course, you know the plate will be boiling by then, so you'll sneak in on the sly, and you'll be like, ah!
It's worth it. It's worth it rather than wait. Sitting there watching on there, that's still there.
Anywhere in the world, I think I would take us to the Orient Express.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Thank you. It just came to mind. I was thinking somewhere ritzy or somewhere one of those bloody tall ones that rotate, you know, like in like all the fancy big cities. And I thought, fuck it, let's have food on a train. Food on a train.
Yeah.
Food on a train.
I've heard there's a lot of murders on that, though. I'd be a bit worried. A lot of murders. Worse than Governor, I've heard.
That's part of why I'd want to go on.
People get murdered.
I'd excuse myself after the main course and I'd be like, we are all having a go, right?
Has anyone seen Kenneth Branagh? No, we're all right.
Oh, I killed him.
Hey, no, you couldn't see him because he murdered that film.
The moustache was too much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel seen. What was this?
Never seen it, and I don't think I'm going to watch it now either.
I've listened to the audiobook. I've read the book. I've watched all of the TV dramas and all the movies. So I was sat there with my mother like, 5 minutes in going, that's wrong. I wouldn't have said that.
But you
Look
were sitting there going, that's the wrong kind of suspension on that back carriage. I'm telling you this for a start. That's 10 years after this film set. Come on now.
Those are
James Corden in that movie.
James Corden. I think it's part of the spate where he was in everything, wasn't he? I think it was. I think you got funding off the Arts Council.
I remember casting that irritated me terribly. I thought, was it James Corden?
James Corden has to be. James Corden, Emma Thompson, and Branagh have to be in every film made in the UK. That is the law. They passed the law, and that has to be, and in America as well. You have to have those three, or a combination of them.
Emma Thompson would never be in a movie with Kevin Branagh because she used to be married to him, and then he shagged Helena Bonham Carter when he was making Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and they divorced.
And she's crying herself to sleep, waking up with Greg Wise. Oh,
she's listening to Joni Mitchell.
Well,
she definitely she leveled up. Let's have a look. We've got a couple of comments online already. So regarding online comedy, Ray said, Mock the Week say they want Zoom audiences precisely because they can stay in their homes. See, just face it. Tell the truth. Tell your truth. My mate has said, press the button. Come on, Lucy. Don't be delicate. There we go. He's put, that's right, blindfold Colin and take a walk along the river.
Sounds like a terrorist situation, this. Not looking for a pizza.
You want this first?
There was.
That's the start of a bad date, isn't it? Wear this blindfold.
Ray has put, there was, I hope still, a Latino stuffed restaurant, burrito bar in a mall in Pleasanton, California. Their burritos were to die for. They were so good. Well, that's where we're going in ideal world. And then there's only one Poirot, David Suchet. Right.
David Suchet.
Yeah. The day of I think there was some terrible tsunamis. Many people died. And the only thing that stuck with me in the paper was the fact that they'd stopped making Poirot and he wouldn't have he was like 2 away from making the full set. And I was devastated. And they were like, oh, you look really sad. Is that because there's tsunamis? And I was like, yeah.
2 away. You'd have to complete the set. I couldn't do that. Even if I just funded them myself and nobody ever saw it. You'd have to complete the set. Oh.
So frustrating. Have you ever met anybody with the second name Sushi?
No.
Pardon?
The name's Sushi.
Yeah.
You've got David Sushi, his brother John, who used to be an ITN correspondent.
Mm-hmm.
So the news has been with John Sushi, now here's Michael Fish for the weather. You know, it was like, what the fuck? I know it's a different spelling.
But technically, shouldn't it be called Suck It?
Fucking fish-themed names. Bizarre.
David
I've never met a fish in my life.
John Carruthers has added, John Corden wasn't in it. It just felt like he should have been.
Oh, yeah.
Right, get your glittery camel dash elephant bag. We're going to have a question from Leon all the way
Right.
in.
Here we
I was
go.
going to say Liverpool, but
Here's the question. Hold on. Is that one or two? One question.
one
Here we go.
question.
Here we go. So, if you could invent a new type of social media, what would it be? So, if you can invent a new type of social media, so it can be whatever you like.
That's quite hard.
A new kind of social media.
Mine would be called solicited dick pics.
Solicited, like you can put requests up.
If you sign in, you've automatically consented.
Aye, 'cause I'm living. There's a thing. I don't know. There's a thing. But, oh, sorry, that's too controversial. I don't know if I'm going to get me a bit rude here, but
Come on,
Oh,
you've gone
bring
in
it
too
in.
far now.
there's people. You know,
Dick
it's a lot of gay guys. You know, gay guys in particular who are complaining about dick pics and stuff like that. And I've never been offended by a dick pic in my life, right? I don't know. I've never sent any, by the way. Can I just say, I have never sent a dick pic in my life, but I've never been offended by one. I've always been kind of delighted when somebody sent me a dick pic.
I don't.
Oh no, you know, as a gay man, when it was really still quite shite, you know, because I'm 38 just yesterday, and when there was no social media for us. You know, I was a gay and a Catholic, so I was like going through a hard time. You know, we never saw anything. We never got dick pics or saw anything. You had to, you know what I mean? Look at underwear and fucking bloody health books and things like that. You never got anything like that. I don't understand why these gay men are so, and don't be sending any of your dick pics. I thought, you know, I don't care. You send me a dick pic, I find it hysterically funny. But I've never sent one.
Yeah, I never got them. I don't know why. I don't understand the purpose of them. Like, just like you're just sitting there and you go, I know what to take a picture of. Let's see what I can send this to. I get impressed. Like it's supposed to be like big, small. You can't tell the size of it unless you've got some kind of like, I don't know, a pen or something in perspective with it, or happy, or it's like, you know, what do you want? And then what do you want? What response do you want? You know, that's fantastic. That looks cracking. I'll have some of that.
I always feel they're a little bit like when your cat brings you a dead mouse and they're really proud, and they're like,
it's just a bit out of context. Yeah.
Oh.
I suppose if you were really interested in someone, I suppose you have to be like enthusiastic and go, you know, cheers for that. That's cracking. That one's probably enough. I've got it now.
I mean,
Thanks.
is a thumbs up emoji enough of an acknowledgement?
You know, that can go the wrong way. You can thumb up as well. Like, okay, exactly.
I've got rules for dick pics. Unfortunately, 80% of them are always sent out of a public bathroom. There's nothing like thinking of, like, you know, communal germy areas to make you think, well, that's a great dick. But I do have a rule. They've got to have googly eyes and a virtual background. Anything less, unappreciated.
They haven't been enough, have they? And
I'm still laughing at the cat analogy. That's brilliant. So cute.
You can have that, love. You can have that.
Yeah, or maybe just a social media for that, or just a dick pic social media ranking system.
I think maybe for me, it's going to have to be cat based. I don't want to see pictures of your kids. I don't want to see your meals. Just show me the cats. That's all I want. And I don't care about rats, hamsters, birds, nothing. Just, well, that's what we'll call it, pure pussy. That's it.
That might get a lot of. I could imagine there'd be a lot of interest, but quite a lot.
I don't care about your status update. I don't want to see what Leon is feeling, happy or blessed. No. I want to know that Kitty has just been sick in the hallway. That's what I want to know. Basic cat facts. And then when I get a friend request off somebody, I'm like, do they own a cat? Yes. And it's like, well, then I'm more likely to like them.
I love cats. I've got a wee dog, a wee Maltese terrier, because I'm keeping the stereotypes alive and well, you know. But I can't have a cat because my boyfriend, he's asthmatic, pain in the arse. So we can't have cats because they make him wheezy.
That would genuinely be a deal breaker for me. I don't care. If I sound shallow, But if somebody said, "Oh, do you want to go out for a date? I can't come back to yours though because I'm allergic to cats," I'd be like, "Just drop me off outside, love. Pay for the meal." No.
Also, because he's asthmatic, no curtains. I didn't know this. Did you know this?
What? No curtains?
He's lying to you, mate.
No,
No curtains?
no curtains. No cats, no curtains.
I've just noticed the blinds behind you.
Aye.
What is it?
Have you
What's
got
no
one of
curtains?
those weird duster feather things that you have to slide along to
But
it's sort of like 4 dusters on a stick?
I've just moved in, so these actually aren't mine. These belong to the previous lady who lived here, Alice. I know her name is because I'm getting her mail, and every day we go, Alice, Alice, who the fuck is Alice? And she's in a home with dementia, so she sings that as well, which is quite funny. But the who the fuck am I?
Well,
But these are all really dirty. So I need to. I'm literally just moved in. Honestly, I'm in a fucking shithole.
come on. You can't just drop that there, right? Your boyfriend has convinced you that asthmatics can't have curtains and go.
Yes, because when you're opening and closing curtains, apparently it causes a lot of dust. So apparently this is a thing. I had no idea. But you know, I'm quite pernickety about how clean things are, and his asthma is doing really, really well. So we've been together 2 years, and we've noticed that he's only using his inhaler very rarely. In fact, I can't remember the last time he actually even used it. So we're trying. The dog is a Maltese Terrier, Cara. She's a Maltese Terrier, and she doesn't really cast either. So we can't have cats or anything that casts hair or anything like that, or curtains, apparently. Or maybe he's lying to me.
The comments are going wild. Right. So first of all, Ray Turner wants equality. He wants equality. He wants flap snaps, and I fully agree with you. That's agreed. Right.
See,
John Carruthers said, when Leon said I never got them, I thought he was wistfully wondering why his inbox was empty. In fairness, when you went dick pics, I've never really got them. I was that.
No, I haven't either. I haven't ever got one or ever sent one.
I've definitely had one off of John. John's a nightmare.
In relation to the flap snaps, is Ray still going on? It's the last turkey in the shop. It's in closer.
I think the same thing with like flap snaps and dick pics is there's no context. It's the context. It's just, do you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, what's the rest like? I don't know. I mean, I might be interested, I might not, but just that little bit, like pictures of kneecaps or something, or ankles, or
it's like Naked Attraction, how the body's really nice until it gets that bit, and then they're an absolute mess.
And by that time you might be committed, and you're like, oh, or some of them have massive tattoos or something of swastikas are halfway up, and you're like, until you get there, you don't know, do you?
That's it.
Swastikas.
And then the last thing, John, there's a new series of that out, isn't there? Naked Attraction.
Naked Attraction. Yeah. I watched a few of them, but
I don't understand the whole point of that either.
Do you find though that you can maybe find the body quite unattractive, but then when you see the face, they actually become quite attractive?
It's the wrong way around. You should start at the top. I mean, who the hell has whoever met somebody and started looking at their feet and then was like, oh, that's quite attractive feet. Oh, that and working their way up till eventually you get to the top, and then you make your decision. I mean, you'd be forever bumping into things if you're going around looking at people's feet.
Has found somebody fit, come home, gone to bed with them, and thought, "Oh Christ, I wish I'd known this sooner." But that's called life.
I mean, it's like you know what I mean. You had me with your toes. She had cracking toes. I didn't look at anything else. By that point, we'd already made love, and then I looked back a couple of years later.
The toes up a bit here.
Although saying that, I did know somebody who had the foot fetish thing. Very weird. Never got that either. My girlfriend's mate,
apparently.
What?
Yes.
Apparently it's quite a common thing.
It is, yeah. I said this. Sorry, my mate's girlfriend. She had a foot fetish, and so she would borrow shoes and they would come back like really polished and stuff. So that was nice, but it was always a bit weird what she was doing with them. And I only thought about later, because I didn't know at the start she had a foot fetish thing. And then she'd take the shoes and come back polished. And I was like, well, that's nice of her, polishing the shoes. That's really nice. But then I found out that she had a foot fetish, and it always felt weird. And, you know what I mean? It was like,
Right.
didn't feel the same wearing them shoes.
Right, so she'd borrow your shoes, come back, and she'd polish your robe.
She said, I'll polish your shoes. She said, I just like polishing shoes. And so I took that at face value. She'd go, all the shoes come back polished. And then it was like, I thought, oh, that's quite nice. Maybe she just likes the smell of boot polish or something, but I don't know. But then I found out she was a foot fetish.
With suede boots. Can I get her number?
Yeah, if you want, stay on the line afterwards and I'll pass your details on. She did a cracking job. I mean, you could see her face.
She did.
She spent hours on it.
How was she polishing the shoes, I wonder?
Yeah, that's what I thought. You know, afterwards you thought I did sniff a few of them. Go, I wonder.
Bit discharging. Sorry.
They were clean. I can give her that. They were spotless. They were spotless. And so sometimes you just have to live with it. You just, you know, it swings and roundabouts. Was she doing any harm? If you could help someone on your way.
Did you once you realised this all? Did you ever feel a bit let down with the fact that she only wanted your shoes and not the owner of the shoes?
I think probably was put off by the fact she wanted shoes. Anyway, I think, you know, once I found that out, it didn't make me more interested. If anything, I was just more wary. Even if I had found I didn't really find her attractive, but if I did find her attractive, I think the whole shoes thing would have put a question mark in my mind of where this relationship might, if it had possibly gone anywhere, have been going. Yeah.
I've got an image of her in my head. I've got an, she's walking away, clapping the shoes, telling you to fuck off.
Breaking up with all my shoes, but not me.
Oh man,
she wasn't doing any real harm. It was just odd. I mean, she didn't do any real harm, and I got a little benefit out of it. And she was happy, you know. And so, you know, you can be too judgmental sometimes. So, you know, if everybody's getting a little bit of something, you know, who are we to judge?
Cobblers to inequality. Come on. There's always time for a cobbler's joke. I mean, sorry to shoehorn that in. Come on.
Here we go.
I am seamlessly lacing these jokes in. Come on.
Oh my god. Do you have shoes on and down south?
Yes, we do. Common people need shoes too.
That's quite common in Scotland, because that's what every parent shouts that at their child at least 14 times a day. Right, shoes on. You know, I thought that was a play on words.
I quite like that. I mean, it's a good name for a shop. If it's about if your shop's full of shoes, so it's a shoe zone. They could use that name for everything. Meat zone, if it's a butcher's, or you know, they could do. I mean, it's they could be branching out.
They should definitely say shoe zone, suitable for vegans, because there's not a fucking piece of leather in that shop. Not one.
And does that upset you? You'd be like,
made by kids, great for kids.
I've got a friend who likes to smell of leather a lot. So I'll give you that number. It's the same one. So
I'm just reading. I've left John Carruthers every girl's room. I've had food come up. Ignacio Lopez does a concept of naked attraction. It's on YouTube. I was meant to ask Ignacio if he wants to come on here. And then John Carruthers, me too. Maybe we dated the same women.
Oh, she's moved on to somebody else's shoes now. I don't feel so special. cheating on me with another loafer.
Okay. Now that the world is returning slowly to normality, okay, you get a choice: free holiday, all inclusive, or backpacking. Do you want to go around to places and do stuff, or do you want to lie in one position on a sun lounger and drink?
All inclusive is it's a big choice, because you just feel like all inclusive is like you have to then do everything that's inclusive. and it becomes a kind of, I always find it becomes a chore. I've done quite a few all-inclusives, but then you do feel like if it's all-inclusive alcohol, you do feel you should be drinking all the time. Or all-inclusive food you should be eating all the time. Yeah, and then that becomes just exhausting because you're like, yeah. So I'd go the other way.
I've never been on an all-inclusive holiday in my life.
Would you like to?
If it was good, I quite like. I'm a bit of a. I hate the term foodie, but I'm definitely a foodie person. I love food. I'm not sure I would. You know, do you know a man that can just reach out and grab potato scones in one grasp? You know, I like food. I'm not sure I would cope with watered down alcohol and horrible food.
I should have said there is, for those people who don't know about all inclusives, you've got two levels. You've got ones where it's sort of vodka with 2 Ks. And then the other one is where they made a point of saying branded spirits. So you actually go, say you want a Baileys arrives, not a Scottish mist or something like that. Celtic mist.
I like that.
And I'm desperate to go a cruise. And I think a cruise is quite posh, isn't it? And it's all like decent stuff. So I quite fancy that. So if it was a cruise, I think I'd be in for it. But failing that, I think I'd definitely be backpacking, eating all the food, getting terrible parasites in my gut and things like that. That'd be right up my street.
What about you, Leon? So you genuinely, if you don't want to go backpack all inclusive, do you do stuff? Are you like, right, today we're going to go to this place?
Yeah, so I do that quite a lot. I mean, I've done cruises. I've done quite a lot of cruises. So I have done cruises. And it's like some of them were the 1-star crap ones, and some of them were like the luxury ones. There's a massive difference. But I don't know, you get a bit bored. Cruising is a bit boring, really. I suppose it depends where you go, but I'd prefer backpacking because whenever I go anywhere, I have to see all the places. And it's always running around. I usually just go to I usually only go to a place once. So if I go to a place once, I have to see all the main bits. So it's like that, and then I'll go somewhere else. Because I've been I've been to 42 countries. So I see all the best bits, and then I'm out.
Have any of you gigged on a cruise?
No, that's the dream.
I went to see a comedian on a cruise. He was awful. It was like one of the worst comedians I've ever seen.
Doesn't matter, he's getting paid.
Yeah. I mean, he must have had a great time, but it was like the cheesy. This was only like 3 years ago. And it was like the cheesiest jokes. It was like, basically, it was Butlins. It was Butlins on a boat. And he was clearly from a Butlins type camp. And it was just like stuff from the 70s. And I was like, wow, this guy's getting paid. Probably getting quite a good bit of money. And it was just awful. Dreadful stuff.
I have friends that do it, and some really decent comedians who I know are good, who go and do it.
I'm sure there is. And I probably wouldn't name him if I could remember his name. I just didn't remember his name. But yeah, proper old school.
I could do it. I could definitely do cruise comedy. I mean, ultimately, I think, because there's like a rotation on the entertainment, so you're not gigging every night. You'll be like, you'll do Tuesday night, which means you've got another 6 days of just pretending you're an all-inclusive holiday. And then you sort of once a week sing for your supper. And is it tax-free money because you're out of the country?
Yeah, but you're going to get less on cruises, though, you don't get paid as much on a cruise because they can pay you less. But then you think about your audience, though. The audience are usually old. Sometimes you've got kids coming in as well. They wander in and out all the time. Not be an easy gig. I don't think it'd be an easy gig.
Well, maybe I could go and MC on a cruise. I could take that on, no bother. But how do you perform to the same people every night of the week for 3 weeks? You know what I mean? That to me just seems, I don't know how it works. So it's like,
it would be, you'd have to have a common denominator, I suppose. I suppose again, it depends what cruise you're on. I suppose if it was a really fancy cruise, you could have something really good.
I reckon the key is just fucking crowd work. An hour of just going, oh, Maureen, you got your new dress on, hey?
As they all come in, yeah. You could do, yeah. You'd have to keep it clean though. It'd have to all be clean. And that,
Why?
How about the
Why
shit,
would it?
Harold?
if it's kids wandering out, don't let the kids stay up all night.
I don't think so. I genuinely, because you can get, I know, and I know it's, if you put adult in front of anything, it makes sense. Like, but you get adult cruises, you know? I mean, that's it. That's my dream. I'm going to do stand up on Saga cruises. Filth, no kids. That's it. They are all going to be, because they wake up and they just drink from the minute they wake up until they are poured into bed. And I'm just going to do the filthiest material, possibly even find a new sugar daddy. And then that's it. Tax-free, clicking. That's yes.
Got it made in the shade. Yeah,
hey, this may sound like a joke routine to you, but I'm actually thinking about filling in forms as we speak.
My dream is to do panto. Panto is my dream, and I've said this for years. Work 3 months a year, have the rest of the year off. First few shows, you've just played about 4 people. It's behind you. You can do the same jokes that everyone have done for the last 100 years, and no one seems to mind.
Oh no, you can't.
See, you don't even have to know the punchline. The punchlines are there for you. You just have to guide the words towards those punchlines, and that's all you need to do. And the kids will laugh. They've never heard it before. They're like, "This guy's a genius." It is behind him.
I'm totally up for panto. I definitely would grab that with both hands.
Yeah. And you get to meet.
Go on then. Next question. What's your panto character?
Well, I'd need to be the dame, obviously. I'm keeping the beard.
I'd be like the Buttons type character, the comic relief, who comes on and does like those little set pieces that don't really seem to match with the story. And they just, I've got a kid, so I've been to hundreds of these pantos. They just sort of come out and do the wallpapering scene in the middle, and you're like, this does not fit with the plot at all. They just come out and they do. And here's us two. Let's paint this wall, or and then it's just like them falling over and stuff. And it's basically because that's what they rehearsed, and they've just squeezed it into any story at any point.
I think for me it's difficult because I think I'm just too old for Principal Boy, but I'm too young for Fairy Godmother.
That's what makeup's for.
I think in my head I'm thigh slapping, but actually I'm just going to be hung out from a truss and then just lowered down every now and again, tell a joke, and then just pull back up from the top.
I think being the villain would be fun.
You go.
So the being the villain would be the most fun. If you could pick anything, it'd be the villain. And get them all booing you and stuff, and you could just do terrible jokes and boo. I'd like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you've had a lot of practice.
I took my niece to the pantomime a couple of years ago. She's been too old for it now. That's her she's 14 in August. She's been too old now. But I took her, and it was Beauty and the Beast. And the Beast was like 14-year-old. You know what I mean? And I'm sat there going, it was utter shite. And I sat there, and it was the Civic Centre in Motherwell. Maybe that was my problem. Maybe that I just answered my own question. But it was utter garbage. But I remember pantomime being really good fun, you know, and it was a good laugh, you know, and it was like there was so much a spectrum of humour there for the kids and for the adults and everything else, and it was really, really good. So I'd like to get involved, and I did get involved. It would need to be something decent, you know, with some colour jokes and things like that.
There's definitely a couple of levels. There's like those expensive ones with, like, you know, kind of stars-ish in it, or used to be stars, like the Fonz and stuff. He did loads of pantos, didn't he? So that's kind of a good level. But then there's the other level where they have a big group of kids that come out, and they've clearly got every school has got their kids in, and so that means that one night a week they've filled the audience with the parents. And you're there, not related to anybody in the bloody thing. They all come out and they all sing their little bit, and they go away. And then later on the show, they all come out and sing their own little bit. And like, if it was your kid, you'd be like, "Oh, that's quite cute." But it's not your kid, and it's just awful.
But that's every school production ever, where you sit there, wait for the 32 seconds when your kid fucks their lines up, and then you've got to watch other people's offspring murder. A classic.
Hours and hours of that. I've done days of that.
How much would they need to pay you to sit and deal with John fucking Barrowman every day? Do you know what I mean? For 2 months, you know what I mean?
Talking about dick
For
pics.
me, the revelations regarding Barrowman are very fresh. So
Yes.
I've only
Yo,
just had the
buddy.
bubble burst, unfortunately.
Yo,
I'm mourning. I'm mourning the man I thought I knew.
I've never met him, but I've not heard the best. I mean, I've not heard anything about him that's really particularly bad, but he's just a bit of a
I'll
prick,
send you
know,
it.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I'll message you after the show.
All right.
Did you hear the full revelations? Yeah. Bless him. Who the hell knew what was going on with Doctor Who? That was just wow. In those early days.
Oh, honestly, this is a comedy show. Let's keep it light. If you want me to do a rant about what Noel Clarke has done to my visions of the first 2-3 series of Doctor Who, and he's the reason we lost Eccleston, I can really go on.
That annoys the hell out of me because there's obviously not all of them were dodgy in that. I mean, there was a couple of them, but you know, there's some of them were doing a good job there, and now they're like, can we even show the stuff? That would irritate the bloody hell out of me if one weirdo was on there and you'd worked your hardest and like, you know what I mean, you'd done a good job and you were proud of it, and then some fucking idiot, and you were like, wait, no, I can never show that again. Or if you love it.
Well, I mean, let's try and keep it light, guys. This is not G8, but it's the same with Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all the Joss Whedon revelations. I am sticking with the art. I am going to still love Buffy and Angel. I'm just going to remember that Joss is a piece of shit. And also, you can always remember that Noel Clarke, Mickey, does die. You know, you've always got that coming up. It's just unfortunately Captain Jack only recently just came back and looked really cool in his long big coat.
Kill him.
Yeah.
Kill him off.
Well, look at like other types of art. If you look at like, I mean, if you had to meet, what's his name? Him with the moustache, the artist.
Spanish
Spanish guy.
Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali. Right, if you didn't have met him, you would have thought he was a fucking arsehole. Or Francis Bacon. Right? If you'd met Francis Bacon, you'd have thought, what a creepy, weird fucking guy. But you don't love his art any less, or his art's incredible. And that Salvador Dali's art's amazing, you know.
Yeah.
And if he likes to take an aardvark for a walk, that's his own business. You know what I mean? You don't have to. I think we need to separate the art from the artist and the arsehole and still enjoy it.
See, I don't like the only thing I don't like is the double standards. Like when you're like when something happens, then people start saying, well, we can't ban that because he was good. Like Michael Jackson's always on the radio, and you're like, that's you can't have that. And then as soon as Gary Glitter, they found out about him, never played a song of his again because they're just like,
take that. No, with Gary Glitter. All of the do is played at the beginning of every NFL game. That motherfucker is living on royalties in Cambodia. He is every football game plays Glitter music for the Wannabe in My Gang. Yeah, he's absolutely well. I was just gonna say milking it in, but let's not get too graphic. Now, hey, if anyone else is bored, give Lewis Carroll a little Google.
Lewis Carroll.
Don't want to go in that.
Not great. Man. Not great.
Lewis Carroll, Barry.
Did you say Lewis Carroll from Barry?
No, Lewis Carroll is a bad guy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Alice was a real girl.
Oh fuck! Who wrote Peter Pan? Do you remember his name?
J.M. Barrie.
J.M. Barrie, right? Wrote a book about wee lost boys who don't grow up and all that. I mean, fucking hell.
Yeah, that's worrying.
Wow! Alarm bells!
So this slightly older boy comes to these little kids' windows, knocks on the window, and says, "Do you want to come with me?"
And shags them, you know. What better put that?
We've got previous. You go.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say one last thing. When I was watching that, see, this is the other thing is when you look back at movies and stuff when you were younger, and you think, "Oh, it's dead weird now." I think I watched that movie Hook, and I used to love Hook, and probably still love it a bit. But when you think about it, Peter Pan, he keeps coming back and seeing Wendy, and then ends up marrying his granddaughter. So he goes out with a grandmother and then marries the granddaughter, and you're like, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Really,
it's a bit weird.
it's a bit odd. So yeah, things change.
We've got some comments coming in on the chat as well, and we've got Michael from Seattle, who has said, I've watched British TV for over 4 years, and the only thing I know about Panto is, oh, yes, it is, and oh, no, it isn't. The Americans, I wish the Americans could get behind Panto because it is stupid fun. And it's from us, historically wise, it was from medieval times. And I love the fact it's still going. And the other thing is, I knew there were articles about Francis Bacon, but I wish I knew what was weird about him. Hey, have a little Google, love. I'm pretty certain that'll find out for it. And then, of course, fucking John Carruthers. He had to do it, didn't he? Bloody comedian. He's only put a bloody callback in. There we go. He's put that John Barrowman would work perfectly into Colin's new social media platform. We'll do the jokes, thanks.
You always need someone to lead it. There you go. He's your lead.
Oh, on Colin's dick pic social media, there'll be a picture of John. John Barrowman will be your first friend, and he'll be next to a little chalkboard like that. I'll be like, just next to a chalkboard, just drawing a dick. Oh, right. Can we have another question, please? But make it a quick question if you've got one, and then we'll have to start thinking about carpets and horses.
Right. Quick one with a one-word answer. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not be able to do a one-word answer. Which song should be redone in a different style? So if you could sort of remix a song, what song would you remix in a different style?
I've been working on a song with my two friends, plug, that we're doing Brighton Fringe with, and we don't know how we got down this avenue, but we started listening to Say You'll Be There by the Spice Girls, which is really lovely. If you take it line by line, it's a girl begging an incel to stop stalking her. And I think a nice bit of heady death metal behind the back of that. It's far too nice. It's like, please understand we're friends and I'm not interested in you should be a lot more like I'm not interested in you.
So you need to, that's it. Remix that. That'll be good.
I'm not sure what mine would be. I think he's aware of the hymn "Walk with Me, O My Lord."
I think.
Walk with me, Walk with me, oh my Lord. Right, it's usually played at funerals, right? And I always thought they should really jig that up a bit because it could be a really good toe tapper. You know, I remember, and I'm just reminded, I was at my aunt's funeral a few years ago. My sister and I came out and we were just talking about it, and we started doing one of those like arm in the arm jigs out in the car park because we're a strange family. You know, we do that. Walk with me, oh my Lord! Woo! I thought they should get a tempo in that. That'd be good for a Kaylee.
There'd be loads of good hymns that you could boost up more. Like
I'm definitely getting Jerry Cinnamon vibes on this with his one-man band. I want some cymbals on them knees. There we go.
A bit of a, a bit of a mixing it in with it. That'd be good there. And there'd be no copyright law, so you could just take it. What up, copyright?
Yeah.
In fact, let's do it. In fact, I'm going to do it now. I've decided. Hey. Remix everything.
It's not a good comedy show if we haven't decided to form a band by the end of it.
Remix hymns in a new style.
Also, Tori Amos got an album of cover songs written by men about women, and it works really well. Oh, thanks, John. I used to sing Donald's Where's Your Trousers to the sound of the Immigrant song by Led Zeppelin. There we go. That's what we were looking for, John. The first answer was way too straight. Leon, what song do you reckon you'd do? Leon, what song would you do?
For me, I don't know. I quite like it when they do like a fast song and they make it nice and slow. Like on Schitt's Creek when they do Simply the Best and you slow that down. So I quite like that. So something like that. A lot of songs are really good if you slow them right down and do a cappella and all that. So something like that would be good. Yeah.
Whatever happened to UB40? They were good. Let's just take any song and just make it reggae, you know? Remember that band?
That's a good idea.
Are they still going
UB40 are still touring. They still do a lot of concerts in horse, like race courses and stuff. And each year they perform gigs to pay off the debts of last year.
Oh.
Don't know why I needed to tell you that truth.
I know Kate Bush, she did a cover of Elton John's Rocket Man and did a reggae version of it. And I love
A
Elton John
reggae
and I love
version.
Kate Bush. In fact, I love Kate Bush. My other candle is a Kate Bush candle. Look, that's a Kate Bush candle that I got for my birthday. And but it's shite.
Oh, can't get a bit of a.
When you were like, yeah, she covered Elton John, I thought, well, yeah, I could imagine her doing that. And then you went with a reggae version. No one saw that coming. Oh, have you ever heard of the fact that Sting and Shaggy did duets about a year before last? I shit thee not. I don't know whether it was a dare, but you wouldn't expect it. But Shaggy and Sting did an album together. I've even seen them perform on TV together, and the whole thing, you just sit there going.
I heard about it and I didn't even want to listen. I'm afraid I didn't even listen to it.
Shaggy and Sting sounds like basically like an STD. Gives a Shaggy and the thing starts to sting. Sounds like somebody goes to
Using my ointment. It's gone.
What happened? They did a bit of Shaggy and then now I got a bit of Sting.
No, Sting should have been right in the post office to fucking deep hole and change his second name to King after that one, I think.
Sting blames Shaggy for it, and Shaggy said it wasn't me. There we go, John. Colin, before we do go into the final question, I just want to let everyone know that if you look up online Colin Higgins comedian on Facebook, that is where you will find Colin's comedy page there. So as you can see, his name is just there, but just stick the word comedian afterwards. You should already be thinking, Colin Higgins, comedian. But type it and find out more stuff.
Thanks.
Point him. Right. Now, this is what everyone's been bloody waiting for. People only tune in the last quarter of an hour. Shit. It is very, very simple. Now, I did give you a little bit of a heads up what this is going to be. I'm going to ask you a very, very simple question. I'm not going to answer any questions regarding it. You can try and ask Leon, but he is holding his mouth so that he gives you no clues. No clues. Right. I just realized I saw another question that come up there. Right. So, Colin G. Higgins of Lanarkshire. Happy birthday for yesterday, by the way. For your birthday present, we are going to give you a choice of 2 gifts, but you can only have one. Would you like to go away with the magic carpet or the flying horse? Please show your workings.
The magic carpet or the flying horse, did you say?
Did you think it was going to be magic horse and flying carpet?
Which one did I say? I've only been doing this.
You said a flying horse and a magic carpet. So to answer your question, it would have to be the. Nope, it would have to be the flying horse.
Why?
Absolutely. That I can make it shit on demand. So when I'm flying this car, I can fly over people I don't like and say, right, slap it on the arse and let it just dump a load of crap on people I don't like. Because I was in a quandary. I thought, oh, does the horse fly? Or is it a magic horse? Or does it do wishes or shit gold billion or whatever? No, but you said flying horse or a magic carpet. So, yeah, definitely. I'd go with the flying horse so I can shit on people I don't like.
What if you'd have to get them outside? You'd have to ring them up. So just go outside for a minute, will you?
They're a flying horse. Bring the children. There's a flying horse.
You could definitely hit them because you'd be sitting there going, look at that, and then done.
Oh, my mouth's full of horse shit. It'd be brilliant.
And no one would believe them. No one would believe them. What happened to you?
We have had Go on, Leon.
What happened to you? Flying horse. You go, yeah, you've been drinking again. Pack it in, will you?
Oh, Colin got his horse to shit on me again. You've had enough, mate. You've had enough.
Colin hasn't got a horse. I've been round to his house. You can't even have a cat, let alone a horse. What are you talking about?
Of course.
I mean, can your boyfriend cope with horse allergies?
Well, he's outside, and of course, there's a lot of air circulating around, so I think he would be okay. He doesn't. We live in the country. He doesn't explode when I drive past horses or anything like that. So I'm sure he'd be fine. Without flying, maybe I'll need to make sure the horse never shat in him, obviously, because that would be a problem. But yeah, I'd enjoy that. I'd enjoy that. We drove in to the house and a jackdaw shat on the car as we drove in. You see the mess that made? Could you imagine the mess of Holland?
Jesus. New Cartan.
We've had a lot of people answer that question, and a lot of people have highlighted the fact that the horses will be in an elevated position when they defecate, but no one's ever weaponized them. That was what
it was more. Yeah, it used to be sort of like, oh, I feel bad about that. Not you. You were. That's the whole reason I've got the horse.
That's your reason.
Feed them curry and everything. Here, have a curry. Have another curry, horse. Come on. Have a korma. Go on.
I'd be fucking busy. I tell you, I'd be up there a lot. Anne Widdicombe would never be horse sheep fritter. She'd be constantly covered in horse shit.
That would be in the middle of an interview. She's giving a little interview for BBC. Bang.
I mean, the thing is, if you are going down to shit on Anne Widdicombe, please do give me a call, because I only leave about an hour ago away from her. if you're coming down to the moors, please do say hi.
I will do.
I just realised plenty of air to disperse the allergens if you're keeping the other half outside. I think Colin lets him in. You let him in the house, don't you now?
Occasionally.
Sorry, love. You're going to have to move outside because I want curtains.
And a Maine Coon. Fuck off. What's it called? Maine Coon. What's the big massive cat?
Maine Coon or Norwegian? Yeah.
Oh, I'd love a Maine Coon. I think they're just beautiful.
I'm sorry, but that just gives me carte blanches for my Pure Pussy app. I'm going to be sending you so many pictures.
Link below.
It's going to be. I'm just going to send you links about what John Barrowman has done, and then just cat after cat after cat.
I like that. So it's all creepy, and then you just slowly the cat will detoxify you. Each cat will make you feel a little bit cleaner, a little bit better about the world. 15 cats in, you'll be like, it's okay. I've got over it now. It's all right.
This is where I ruin the fun now, and I have to just say we're going to have to wrap this up because it has now gone 3 minutes past the hour. Colin, you've been so funny. We've overrun, and we try not to because it's a school night. Please, everybody, go to Colin Higgins Comedian on Facebook. What's your Twitter handle, or are you an Insta boy? What's your poison?
I'm on Twitter. I forget what it is. Colin Higgins. You'll find me. Instagram, Colin Higgins Comedian. You'll see ball face, hair. That's me.
Where did we send the dick pics? Instagram?
Not quite yet. But listen, there's no. Feel free to send me dick pics if you like.
Exactly. If there's one thing we learned, Colin likes you to slide into his DMs, and then Leon likes you to slide onto his shoes. So
shoes aren't as clean as they used to be. I'll tell you that.
Right, thank you so much everybody for watching. Thank you very much for sharing the video. Thank you especially people that have commented on the chat. You are like the fourth member of the team when you do that. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Colin. It's been an absolute pleasure. Leon, I don't know why I've been but I've been joshing you today, but I've just been really playful today. So thank you very much. Alex, if you're watching this, we hope that you're having a shit time in work. Can't lie. But everyone, please, we are going to have Lucy Macanova on from Czech Republic on next week, and I'm all going to confirm it. So thank you very much for watching. Have an amazing week. See you this time next week for Big World Small Talk. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.